Hey guys, how's it going? OPB here. Coming at you with a quick video. This one's just gonna be real quick on logistics. And some of the issues that we have, and how we fix them. First and foremost is logistics in regards to training. Obviously, everybody still has their jobs. They're working. They have their own families. They have their own lives. So organizing training events for us, what used to be difficult, until we've kind of created a schedule. You could do maybe every Sunday or every Saturday or Wednesday evenings or what have you for a couple hours for training. Or you can meet daily for about 2 hours or whatever. I feel like that's a good time frame to do some training. And I'm talking actual training, not sitting around drinking coffee, talking about how crap everything is. Now, of course, you can do that. You can just do the hangout thing once in a while or once a week. That builds bonds and helps people get closer. Builds trust and stuff like that. But that's the number one thing I feel like a lot of people have trouble with, is organizing training events and finding time, organizing your time. So there's tools you can use for that. There's many apps on your phone and stuff like that you can use. You can create Google meetings and stuff like that. That way everyone has a shared calendar, agenda, etc., etc. Outside of that, what I personally do is I keep a paper agenda, and in the office I have a big calendar on property where everyone writes their availability. It's just a whiteboard that I've turned into a calendar for the year. That way everyone knows when, kind of what's going on without having to ask, right? Instead of texting somebody all the time being like, hey, when are you doing this? If everyone just has access to that information right off the bat, it's a lot easier, right? Sorry guys, need a caffeine. Alright, secondly, this is more of a post-SHTF event. Moving supplies in large quantities, I think is going to be real difficult, and for a lot of people, now this could be months into SHTF, this could be years, this could be a couple of days depending on who you are and where you're at. You can only store so much fuel. So your pickup truck is only going to last you so long, and that's a finite resource, right? You don't want to use that unless you absolutely have to, right? That being said, you got to find other means of transport. Now, you can use horse and wagon. That's honestly probably the most sustainable. At least where I'm at, I feel like that's the most sustainable. Like the Amish do it all the time, right? Like, I pass them all the time on the horse and buggy, carrying supplies or bags of grain or what have you, carrying their families. Now, it does have its drawbacks, obviously. again, it's only going to last so long before you have to build another one, so you better be real good at building a horse and buggy, or at least maintaining a buggy. Maybe you see carriage trains start coming back like they did in the Wild West, right? Maybe. But thinking more common man, ways to move supplies. Yeah, you can hump it. You can carry it on your back. Not a problem. Okay. Personally, I've started looking into pedal cars. They're cheap and easy to make if you know how to weld. And if you know how a bicycle works, you can make one of those work, no problem. You can even buy them pre-made if you want to. A bicycle car where you can have a more comfortable seat compared to a lot of other ways to ride. Like when you're riding a bike, you can get a very comfortable seat and you'll be fine. But it's not going to beat the sitting down in a chair aspect of a car, right? So that's why I've been looking into pedal cars, is just sheer, if you're using this thing day in and day out, your body's going to get wore out real fast if you're riding a bike all the time. Especially if you're not conditioning yourself now to do that. So that's something I'm looking into. I've even looked into developing different trailers, setups, so like a fuel trailer, a water trailer, a cargo trailer, stuff like that, right? Like even dump trailers. Just kind of brainstorm. Like I can weld and I have access to cheap tubular steel, so why not, right? Why not try to innovate and design something that suits my needs without having to sell or having to buy it from somebody else, right? It goes back to the self-sufficiency mindset. It is very foggy today. Wow. Now, again, you can look at different cultures and history. I'm a student of history myself. I believe that if you look at history, you can look at your future in a way. As Mark Twain said, history never repeats itself, but it often rhymes. That is very true. There's also another wise man who said those who forget their history are doomed to repeat it. Okay, look up those two quotes. So if you look at Asian cultures, especially the Viet Cong and their use of bicycles for transporting equipment, the bicycle in the Vietnam conflict was arguably the most beneficial thing that the Viet Cong had, other than like traps, right? Like they moved so much supply down the Ho Chi Minh Trail on bicycle. And even with the best bomber the Americans could throw at them, they still were able to move that much equipment. Very impressive. Now, yes, they had a lot of losses on the Ho Chi Minh Trail, okay? not sugarcoating that at all. However, if you had to pick between carrying something on your back and moving it with a bike, which one are you going to pick? You're going to move with a bike, right? At least I hope you would. It's a lot easier. You can carry a lot more weight. You can see pictures of people in China, Singapore, the Philippines, all those Asian Pacific nations, even India, with entire families on a bicycle, just going about the day. Some on the handlebars, some on the back bike pegs and stuff like that. Just going for it, right? They're very versatile. I don't think that as preppers that we honestly put enough thought into that. I mean, maybe I put a little bit too much thought into it, but it's something that's A, it's cheap, B, you can equip people with, and C, it's just good exercise. Like, if you ride a bike for an hour a day, you are going to be very fit, very quick. Okay? That's just something I recommend, right? Now, moving into more not so mainstream, dog sleds here in Canada, obviously. With the snow, I think a dog sled team, if you have the ability to have one and train it properly, is an asset. There's a member of my mag that has a dog sled team. I've known him for many a year, which is pretty cool. Again, you can move supplies and they're fast, man. Those things can keep up with the snowmobile, for sure, 100%. There's another alternative snowmobile, but again, fuel. ATVs and dirt bikes, same thing. Great ways to transport stuff, but fuel. Side-by-sides, fuel. So non-fuel related, you're kind of limited to your Lamborghinis, as I like to call them, and your old school technologies, we'll say. So horse and buggy, bicycles, pedal cars, goats, pack goats. Sherpas use those to great success in Nepal. Sorry guys, snowplow. Now, other than moving of supplies, moving of people, right? How are you going to project force and to utilize your tribe? Again, I don't really like this show, but it's a good show to get if you have some time, which I normally don't, to watch TV and you want to just kind of unwind and relax, but still maybe learn a few things. There's a few shows I recommend that you should watch. I'm going to do a video on that coming up. But the main one that I think we've all seen is Doomsday Preppers. There was one episode where he had a school bus, or one person had a school bus, and they taken all the seats out and all that, and they had firing ports put in it, and yada shmada, right? Push bar in the front. But a school bus with the seats taken out of it, man, you can fit a lot of gear in there. And then once you get to where you're going, that's now a shelter, right? One day I'd actually like to turn one of those into an RV, but anyways, I think that would be pretty cool. So there's that, right? Like, yeah, you can get the small school buses. You can even go get a couple of junk pickup trucks for moving people around property where you don't need them safetied or registered or anything, right? Farm truck where it doesn't leave the property kind of thing. I'm not sure how it is in the States, but here you can't be on the road unless it's plated and insured and all that. It has to be safetied by, here in Ontario, the MTO, Ministry of Transportation. Stuff like that, right? So that's just a quick thought of logistics for preparedness, both prior and post SHTF. If you like this comment, you can find me over on BitChute. My link to my PayPal is in BitChute. You can use that if you'd like to have a one-time donation, or you can find me on Patreon. That's up and running now. I still haven't posted a video there yet. That'll be coming shortly. For $1 Canadian a month, you can subscribe there. At the time of this recording, that's about 75 cents American. So way less than the price of a coffee. If you can afford that every month, and you wish to support the channel, you can subscribe over there and get access to great content. There are different tiers. Each tier has a different benefit, different things that I can do for you to help you and help other people and stuff like that, right? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below of anything that you'd like my opinion on, and I will get back to you as soon as I can with that. So yeah, thanks very much. Have a great day. Go PB out.